When we're in this recording studio, Ryan's like, hey, could we do like 2 takes back to back without anybody making jokes in between? Like, oh. Okay.
Okay.
We're going to look down the barrel.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Naomi Shore.
And I'm Lisa Sturt.
And we're friends.
and
we're here. Songs
Oh my God.
from the sticks in the sticks. From? We gotta do it again.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Ryan's... Jesse's also gonna have all the B-roll of Ryan rolling his eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You go
All right.
first.
Okay. You do this. Hi. Oh my goodness, touch my face.
Okay.
Welcome to Songs from the Sticks. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Naomi. Join us as we sit down with indie Canadian musicians to discuss things like
The importance of community, small town music scenes, and creative sustainability.
We were never in it for the fame. Won't be the next big thing or a household name. In a small pond, couple big fish just wanna hear songs from the sticks.
I'll start.
So ready.
Hey, welcome to Songs from the Sticks. I'm Lisa.
I'm Naomi. And we're here.
We're
Doing
here.
it.
We're here interviewing local musician Ryan Sebastiano.
Local Fort St. John rock and roll legend. I'm going to say it because he's my boyfriend. I can say what I want. Ryan Sebastiano is the lead singer, songwriter, front man, I guess, of Rose Prairie Romance. And he's going to tell us all about it and everything else. Hi.
Hi.
Say hi to my boyfriend, Lisa.
Hi, Ryan. Nice to meet you.
We are all friends in real life, but we're
pretending that.
gonna do a professional.
Deal.
Professional interview. Mm-hmm. Very professional.
Nobody here has seen anybody naked. PG.
Yes, very PG. Okay, Brian, where are you from originally?
I'm kind of all over the place in BC. Growing up, my dad worked for BC Hydro and he moved around the province a whole bunch. So I spent a lot of time in Powell River, Port Hardy, Terrace a little bit. I was born in Fernie.
Okay.
We moved to Fort St. John in 2002 and I've been here since.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like North Island, Northern BC. North Island,
Yeah.
Northern BC.
And I just bounced around every 2, 3, 4 years. We were in a new town. So that's where I've been.
And now,
And what
you
keeps
live here.
what keeps you anchored to Fort St. John?
Probably it started with being a good place to start a career, being lots of work up in the north when I graduated in 2004. And yeah, I got a good job and met a lot of musician friends and things in town here and have stuck around for mostly those reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a child that
He made a person.
Made a
he
person.
lives here.
lives here too now. So yeah.
And where did you start performing? How old were you? What town were you currently living in?
I would have been in Port Hardy. I started performing with a musician there named Tammy Lynn. We'd play
Who's Tammy? No, I'm just kidding.
just a friend I had in
Okay.
Port Hardy that we played.
We're all learning
We
something.
played Goo Goo Dolls songs and different things.
Like in a
like that.
bar? Legal drinking age? How
No,
old
it was
were
like
you?
at our high school.
Oh, okay.
Like she was a country singer, so we played a lot of.
Tammy Lynn.
She was a really good singer, and I just played. I just accompanied her.
Where's Tammy Lynn now?
Campbell River, I want to say.
She blow up?
No.
Thought maybe it was like the Mitch and the Nickelback situation.
Right. No.
Not quite.
Yeah, that's where I would have started performing in front of people, I think would have been around then. When I moved to Fort St. John, I did it in high school here as well a little bit.
That would have been the next small
yeah,
local scene
from
that you were a part
Port
of.
Hardy to, Fort St. John. High school, performing in high school bands, and then Cosmic Grounds open mics after,
Right.
in the summertime.
Yeah. Tell me about that. How did you get like looped into, you worked at the coffee shop and they were like, you play guitar?
I mean,
host this?
it was before I worked at the coffee shop, though. I just heard it was happening through Russell Eggleston in town. I was in a band with him in high school, and yeah, we went to that open mic a few times. Met, I think Ryan Hennessy was hosting it, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was Dan Govin, the owner of the coffee shop.
Right.
And then yeah, I went to that kind of religiously. Dan, the owner, put on a festival called Canola Fest.
Right.
And we played that in a couple summers in a row.
It was like on the main street in front
It
of...
was like the backyard of the coffee shop, basically.
And Systems by Trail, the sound place, was across the road.
Not at
Cosmic
that
Grounds.
time.
It wasn't?
No. It would have been downtown by the bus depot at that time. He didn't move up there until way after the fact.
Now we sound like real
Yeah.
small town folks.
town
Being
folks.
like, remember the
I was
old
gonna say.
Sears before it was Sears and it was this and it was...
Yeah, exactly. I worked at Cosmic Grounds too. What year did you work there?
I would like 2003, 2004. No,
Yeah.
2004 after I graduated. I
was
graduated
after
and
that.
worked there. And then I was hosting the open mics when I was working there.
Right, and
We
you came
also-
across Mike Schaefer and...
Mike Schaefer and Massive Art, I think, was one.
Yeah.
Maybe Adam Clausen. Those are just a few of the people I remember that were, good musicians that wrote good songs.
And there was a gal that worked at... A punk chick that worked at Cosmic Grounds that also played music.
Jill.
Jill. What was her band?
Last Chance Anna Pascal.
That's right.
Whoa.
That.
We live together and here we are. Learning, reminiscing. Okay, you did mention Russell, but is there any other standout community builders that you'd want to shout out, or peoples or venues that kind of helped shape your career or your place in the music scene here? I mean, Cosmic Grounds and
Ryan Hennessy.
Ryan
Would
Hennessy.
be probably any Fort St. John musician from that time would all say Ryan Hennessy.
I mean, Larissa didn't, but we'll
That's fair.
falter for it.
Gid Hampton would have been another one.
Oh, yeah.
Gid, Jason Butler,
Yeah.
Mike Schaefer,
Yeah.
Adam Kirshner. Those are probably the
Yeah.
main ones that would have shaped.
And then we had,
From
like,
that
you
scene.
were at Cosmic Grounds doing the open mic thing, but then become legal drinking age, and then we have the Egan's
Egan's Pub, yeah, that's where
pub
we all
scene.
were.
And who was the guy there that booked
Jason George
Jason George?
at the start. Yeah.
Came all the way from Ontario and introduced us all to exotic
Song.
Ontario
Danko
songwriters.
Jones.
Okay, well, I mean, I kind of know the answer to this because we do it together, but not that. How do you find and foster community or give back to your current scene? You can name drop us. I won't do it. You go ahead.
Yeah, Naomi and I have a production company called Bruised Dorch Productions. And we just finished our 4th year of our Music in the Park series, where every Thursday night we were supporting a Western Canadian musician on tour usually, get him a good paying gig. Lots of people tend to come out to these. We get between 80 to 150 people.
Yeah.
We've done open mics
Yeah.
in
We're
different
hosting
places.
house concerts and
Host house concerts, yeah. So, any chance there's an opportunity for us to have live music, we tend to jump on it and put on a show and do lots in our backyard,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing it. We're trying our best.
You sure are. So when you've been out touring, have you stumbled across a place that was like surprisingly fun, or I don't know, that really sticks out as a good gig over the years?
I always think like
Surprising.
we're from a town that I think people are surprised by.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're like, oh, Fort St. John, I never heard of it. Look at all these beautiful people.
Mm-hmm.
Art scene.
The one that sticks out is when we were on tour in Manitoba and we played in Balder.
Balder,
we played in that
Manitoba.
church that was full of people,
The Doctor's Church.
the doctor's church, and you rang the bell. And it was like a town of, I feel like there was maybe a couple hundred people that live there, and probably 80 people were at that show. I felt like it was like every pew was full of people watching, and we're playing on this chicks in a church
Yeah.
that he bought for $600 or something crazy like that.
Those tiny, like, prairie towns, Saskatchewan and Manitoba, where it's like pretty much all that's there is 1 or 2 very old churches, maybe like a post office / general store, and a couple rows of houses. And that place, when we rolled in, we were like, oh my God, Balder, Manitoba. They only have like 2 blocks. That's the whole town. A couple blocks of houses. And we're like, everyone's house is so beautiful. And like, they take such good care of their properties. But then we came to find out there was an insane hailstorm like 10, 15 years ago. And so everyone got insurance payouts. So every house had new siding and a new roof.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, they really take care of this place.
How did you stumble across that place? Like, how did you?
We were on a home roots tour.
Okay.
So then we went around a circuit in northern Manitoba and northern Saskatchewan and seen a part of the country that I hadn't seen before.
All right.
Home roads tours are the perfect example of like your whole tour is made up of towns you've never heard of and have never had any reason to go there.
And we had weird gigs with that tour, and we had a couple really memorable ones. We played in the library, we played in the cabin, we played in a Legion. Was it a Legion we played in? And then we got to get off stage because we were evacuated for a wildfire mid-show.
Oh, wow.
Like 3 songs in. Probably shouldn't even played the show. It looked pretty sus when we got there. Like, this is probably not a good call.
The sky was like just black.
Oh my gosh.
So we're going to do the show? They're like, yeah, I mean, we got a couple lakes between us and the fire. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Not fun.
And then we opened with my song House on Fire, and then we got evacuated off the stage. So I'm a witch. I'm going to have a quick drink break, and Jesse will edit this out.
Yeah.
Group?
I've been waiting all night, waiting on your call all night. I've been waiting, I've been waiting. I've been waiting all night long. I've been waiting all night, waiting on your call all night. I've been waiting, I've been waiting, I've been waiting all night. I've been waiting all night, waiting on your call all night. I've been waiting, I've been waiting.
You want to ask that?
Yeah,
Me too?
I've got it.
Okay.
Okay, so have you written any songs about a small town that you've lived in or visited?
Yeah, I wrote a song about Fort St. John.
Yeah.
I did. It's called Headlights, and the premise was guitar player in my band and I were trying to write a song, and the one thing we kind of agreed on is the most annoying part about living in the north is going to work in the dark and coming home from work in the dark.
Yeah.
And when you're driving to work, you're just constantly facing, high beams and lifted trucks getting you in the face, stuff like that. So we wrote a song called Headlights about living in the north and, trying
It's
to
a
make
working man.
trying to make a dollar, but it just seems like you're always working and you're never having time for yourself.
Yeah.
You're just staring at headlights as you drive to work.
Mm-hmm.
That was before we fell in love. So
Yeah, things.
all he had was a job.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. That's all I have.
What we really need to get across in this interview is how important I am to you. Okay, I have a question for you. Any venues, towns, or like festivals that would be bucket list for yourself, for RPR, for...
I mean, bucket list is a crazy...
Shoot for the moon. I mean,
Shoot
or
for the
why don't you
moon,
give me
but-
like a shoot for the moon and also maybe like a realistic...
Yeah, like, I don't even know for a rock band, but...
Or for
A
yourself.
shoot for a moon would be to be opening for a pretty cool act. On a
Boy Golden,
big-
let's say.
Sure, we could say that, or we could say Nickelback, I'm just kidding. But, to shoot for the moon would be a cool chance to open for an up-and-coming artist at a really nice venue, like a nice theater, like, I don't know, the Vogue in Vancouver, or
Like the North Peace Cultural
the
Center? What are
Commodore.
we...
Yeah, something really nice. The Starlight Room in Edmonton. Like, those would be like dream venues to play at. Realistically, one that I've wanted to play at, I still haven't, is the Legion in Prince George. I think that would be a fun place to play. I've watched a few shows there, and it's always packed, and everyone's having a good time.
Yeah.
So realistically, I think I can make that one happen one day, hopefully.
I think you can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Once they see this on TELUS Optic TV, oh boy. Look out, Prince George. Okay, another aspect of Songs from the Sticks and the whole, scheming of this. Lisa's primarily a yoga teacher. I'm a music teacher and also a musician. And we're both kind of creative, artsy-fartsy types. Just gig working, taking whatever jobs come. How do you sustain yourself creatively living here? Doesn't have to be financially, just like for your, the sake of your artistic soul.
Probably the involvement in the community, helping with the gigs and doing sound for lots of bands and enjoying their music. It's usually inspirational when we do music in the park because we'll get lots of great artists that have amazing songs that, touch you or make you want to, you hear a guitar riff that you're like, I would have never thought of that. That's cool. Things like that would be.
Yeah, the artists coming from outside of our own little bubble, I guess, is always like refreshing.
Yeah, that would give it, because it gives me probably the inspiration to create music and want to keep creating is just watching other artists that come through town.
And now that we have like the resources and the ability to like, even if we're trapped here all winter, say we can't get away to go see whatever show we want at the Commodore, at least we can bring in people that be the booker you want to see in the world or something.
Yeah, I like that.
All right.
Well, what kind of merch do you sell?
We have vinyl.
Yeah.
We have lots of different types of t-shirts. My drummer, Mark, is a graphic designer, so he's pretty creative and slaps together stuff.
You guys have some great shirts.
Pretty fast.
Yeah.
He just has tons of great ideas for t-shirts.
Mark is
I have one in my closet that I should have brought down here. It's a
Which
great
one
shirt.
do you have?
The little orange record guy.
Oh, cute.
The
yeah.
baseball tee.
Yeah.
Love
yeah.
that one.
Oh, that's
It's Jesse's, actually.
the baseball tee.
But
I know. I liked the one you guys did that looks like the Coca-Cola logo. I don't know, probably shouldn't say that on here, but
That was,
Coca-Cola might not be listening.
probably not.
Probably not.
I don't know.
I think we're okay.
But yeah,
No,
we have
yeah.
basic merch, and we
And
have
you got 2 albums out.
two
both on
albums,
vinyl.
both on vinyl. We didn't get any CDs because no one has CD players
Yeah.
anymore. We did beer koozies.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys always have fun little things.
Like
Picks, pins.
Picks,
Yeah.
button pins, yes. Don't know if we do any stickers, but
Mm.
mainly
That might be an idea
mainly
for
the
next time.
t-shirts.
Stickers.
We got like a press to make our own shirts, so we can
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
make
Yeah.
shirts whenever we need to. or
Maybe
Things
we've
like
got the
that.
hookup.
Songs from the Stick shirt.
There you go.
And RPR, Rose Prairie Romance, you guys are on all the socials. You got a website.
Yeah.
Where do the people find you?
RosePrairieRomance.com. We're on Instagram. We're on Apple Music and Spotify and
All the places.
all the streaming platforms.
I mean, yeah, this isn't coming out until the spring, so we won't talk about any pressing shows because that's not a thing.
I don't know the trouble I'm in. I'll tell you my stories, tell you my sins. Stuck in a bad town, trying to live, breaking the law. This is it. Take me away, take me I might have been wrong, got no regrets. This place can haunt me, got nothing left. Stuck in a bad town.
Perfect. Okay.
Quiet on the
It's your
set.
game now, so okay, yeah. Quiet on the
Quiet on the set. There we go. We're gonna play a game.
Oh. Okay. All right. It's game time. We have a fun game in store for you.
Okay, great.
Are you prepped and ready?
Yes.
You ready?
Okay. This is like a well, it started out as like a 2 truths and a lie, but there's more than that. So, which one of these is not a real Canadian city? Eyebrow, Saskatchewan, Armpit, Yukon, Elbow, Saskatchewan, or Jerry's Nose, Newfoundland?
Elbow, Saskatchewan.
That's a real one.
Is Jerry's Nose real?
Yeah.
Oh.
The one I made up is armpit.
Oh.
And then we were like, oh, we have to add a province also, because when it just said, we decided
Yeah.
armpit, Yukon.
Armpit.
Okay, you want to do the next one? Which one of
Yeah,
these is not?
Which one of these is not a real Canadian city? Stoner, BC, Forget, Saskatchewan, Rehab, Newfoundland, and Sober Island, Nova Scotia.
What was the third one? Rehab?
Rehab.
That one.
Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah.
And it's Forget, isn't it?
It is Forget.
Forget,
They
Saskatchewan.
pronounce it Forget. But I was trying to go with themes of like, oh, this is like stoner, forget, rehab, sober. Island.
Yeah.
Okay, what about this one? Which one is not a real city? Wiener, Manitoba, Spread Eagle Bay, Newfoundland, Crotch Lake, Ontario, Balls Creek, Nova Scotia.
Say those one more time.
Wiener, Manitoba, Spread Eagle Bay, Newfoundland, Crotch Lake, Ontario, or Balls Creek, Nova Scotia.
Spread Eagle Bay. That's not real.
It's real.
It's real?
Wiener, Manitoba, we made
That one's made up? Oh,
I know.
Made up.
That one's very
Yeah.
good.
This is what gets us the PG rating on
It is. yeah.
TELUS Optic TV. Balls Creek.
Okay, so which one is not a real Canadian city? Radville, Saskatchewan, Thrasher, Manitoba, Emo, Ontario, or Payne Court, Ontario.
Emo, Ontario.
It's real.
Real.
You're terrible at this game. Or we're good liars. I can't remember how Larissa scored. I feel like she called it out, but maybe our faces were.
It's, yeah.
You can't tell with my glasses. Yeah, the fake one is Thrasher.
Thrasher, Manitoba.
I know, but Thrasher, it's like farm equipment.
Yeah.
Also.
I assumed.
Mhm.
Okay, a couple more. Which one of these is not a real Canadian city? Punky Doodles Corners, Ontario, Happy Land, Saskatchewan, Happy Adventure, Newfoundland, or Happy Accident, Northwest Territories.
Happy Accident, Northwest Territories.
Yeah, you nailed that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need a buzzer, a sound effect.
Buzzer would be great.
Jesse, put it in. Last one. you
Okay,
go.
last
Go for it.
one. We've got Meat Cove, Nova Scotia, Mayo, Quebec, Potato Falls, PEI, or Cheddar, Ontario.
Did you say Potato Falls?
I did.
That
Yeah.
sounds real. Is it real? It sounds real. So that's the fake one?
That's a fake one.
Did you say Potato Falls? Yeah.
Did you say Potato Falls? Because that sounds like a destination.
Who would make that?
A real vacation destination. Okay, so that's our game.
That was the game.
Love it.
Okay,
Very fun.
so coming up next, you'll be performing a song for us. What are you performing?
I'm going to play a song called Dreamin' that I wrote in the pandemic when everything we tried to do in our lives kept getting stopped. We were going to go on holidays and then we all kind of got a little cold.
Mm-hmm.
So then we kind of fought out the cold for 2-3 days and we were trying to decide if we could leave and then we weren't getting any better. And then by the time we were well enough to travel, we were going to go to Vancouver, I believe is where we were going to go. And to go to Vancouver from Fort St. John is basically 4 days of driving. And I think I had 7 days left of holiday time.
Yeah. We're like,
So
so
we-
by the time we get there, we'll have to just turn around and come home. And yeah, we've all tested negative, but like, is it even...
Mm-hmm.
So, we just had a staycation. And I took that time to write this song. Because, it was just maybe we're just dreaming and this isn't real. And
Nothing
we'll
is
just
real.
wake up and then we can go on holidays.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what we all hoped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've recorded this song?
Yeah, we recorded it on our last Rose Prairie Romance record, Local Smoke. So we recorded it there. Or
On the internet?
on the internet.
It's on the vinyl?
It's like 7 minutes long on the recording because we really rock out and make sure we have a really long 3-minute outro, as you should, to wrap
Oh
up
yeah,
the
I don't
record.
think
Yeah.
we're gonna get the full
No, you won't get the full.
Tom Petty
deal.
outro.
It's the last song
acoustic.
on the record, and we wanted to make sure it
Yeah.
ended with cool guitar solos and a nice, epic jam type
Yeah.
ending to a.
And then you recorded another version of it,
Yeah,
which
I
is not out yet,
It is
or
not.
as of this recording, it's not out. But
down at Hidden Well in Cumberland with Corbin Fox. I've started recording it. We've got all the instruments done. I think I have to go down and do a few more things before we can.
And it's like the not rock. It's the
Yeah, this is
super acoustical,
the acoustic banjo folky version of it.
intimate,
Yeah,
stripped down.
the 2.5 minute version of the song.
Yeah.
Or 3 minute
Regular.
version.
It would be on the Serious Coffee House, that version.
Exactly.
The Coffee House version.
Mhm.
All right. Well, thanks for being here, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you.
We're going to move this stuff around and record a song.
Okay, I'll get my guitar.
Okay. Here we go.
Great.
Woo.
Two, three. Wasted plants, suitcase packed but nowhere to go, panic attacks, just wait and wait, wait till we know. Our lives are on hold. The same routine is getting really old. My anxieties are overtaking, overwhelming me. Maybe I'm dreaming. Maybe I'm flipping and freaking out. Maybe I'm done. Maybe someday we'll just wake up one morning, it'll all go away, but my anxieties are overtaking, overwhelming me. Maybe I'm dreaming. Maybe I'm flipping and freaking out. Maybe I'm done with it all. Whoa. Maybe I'm done with it all. Whoa. Maybe I'm done. Maybe I'm dreaming. Maybe I'm flipping and freaking out. Maybe I'm done with it all. Whoa. Maybe I'm done with it all. Whoa. Maybe I'm done.
We would like to thank our listeners and viewers for tuning in, TELUS STORYHIVE for funding this project and making it possible, our behind-the-scenes team, including Jesse McCollum on video editing, animating, and visuals, Matt Stanier for song mixing, and Larissa Scriven for logo art and design. Additional thanks go to Oho Storyworks and Bruised Orange Productions. We are grateful always to be working, living, and creating in Treaty 8 territory on the traditional lands of the Daneza.